on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
All right. Good morning. Are you ready to go? I am too. Take a deep breath in, sigh on the way out. You know, sometimes you just sigh when you become really sick and tired of something. You just like, done. You're done, and you just let out this big sigh. So take another deep breath in. There we go. Now we're there. Love is the shelter, love is the place, and this is where love lives. So welcome to the place that is welcoming you in love, to come together as a congregation, as a spiritual community, and to connect on that level. So take one more deep breath in, and exhale out. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done and everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, and everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this special moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Please join me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get
to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
And as we close our eyes to all that's outside of us, we look within and we see the truth. And so together we know that there is one creative intelligence that has thought all life into existence. And it does so in a magnificent way, abundantly displaying itself in many arrays of unique and individualized expressions. That we indeed are the very incarnation of this one great mind. That we have been created by God itself and given a life to live freely, to live full out and rightly. For we know that what we dwell on is what we bring forth in our life. And so in that knowingness, we realize in this moment how powerful our words and our thoughts are. That as it is done in heaven, so it is done on earth. Meaning that as it is done in our consciousness, so it is done in our experiences on this earthly plane. That we have been given the gift to co-create with our Creator. But with that gift comes a responsibility to keep our consciousness open and clear, to keep connected to God, our Creator. And so we use the tools of this wonderful teaching, the science of mind. We meditate and open ourselves up to the wisdom of God. We create our affirmations, affirming that wisdom and living it moment by moment. And of course, we pray. We pray claiming God's goodness for ourselves and for all. And if we find that there is any judgment in our consciousness, whether of ourselves or others, we go back and claim our truth as God's creations. And we bless this life. We bless the good in our life and in our world. We bless the love and the benevolent feeling and power that we each have to bring that good into this world. And we celebrate with joy our connection in the oneness with God's truth. And we are continually reinforced as we look around us and see the beauty of this life. We are indeed grateful for the manifestations of good that we bring forth, for we choose to see our world as God does. That we are the great design of God's wisdom to be its vehicle for its expression of that good. And so in that thanksgiving, we release these words. And we know that there is a law that continually gives to us what we believe. And so with confidence that it is love that brings forth that harmony, that dignity, and that peace again. We release them now and know it is so by affirming them together and saying, so it is. So it is.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God, we find ourselves. And I find God when I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself. Good. A couple quick announcements. Where's Steve? Steve, there you are. Steve Morgan is the manager of our bookstore. Stand up, Steve. Tell everybody. Wave to everybody. And all the stuff that Elizabeth brought back from Peru is now in there. So you need to go check that out. There's like incredible jewelry and scarves and stuff like that. So check that out. I also want to thank Vicki, because Vicki's going to step in with our bookkeeper. Vicki Ruff, stand up for me. She's one of our great members here. And we have people that go off on vacation quite a bit, and she steps in and really helps us out, so we're very grateful for her help in the center. So I just wanted to mention them today. Okay, so today, here we go. We're running this down. This is really, I started doing this as my introductory slide so I don't have to remember everything. In 2016, our theme has been Building a World That Works for Everyone, which is kind of ironic and kind of timely, because if you see what's going on in the world, it would be a nice thing to do. In fact, the British Prime Minister actually said these exact same words, and of course we wanted to trademark it and charge them, but that they want to build a world that works for everyone. And I thought, you know what? I like that idea. Amazing. It came from our centers. So here we go. Our monthly theme is loving kindness and forgiveness. And given, again, what's been going on in the scope of the world, I think that's a really good thing to be discussing. Today's theme is actually, we believe in the eternal goodness of life. We believe in the eternal goodness of life. Say that with me, please. We believe in the eternal goodness of life. Now, my talk title is called Rose-Colored Glasses, and you're going to figure it out why in just a few minutes. So someone decided to graffiti our sidewalk, on earth as it is in heaven, and we really appreciate the sentiment. Next time, let's put it on a poster. So anyway, when you see that going into the Ohm room, you'll see that. So anyways, I just want to say thank you to whoever did that, but next time do it in a poster. All right, today our affirmation statement is, I look at my life and know that it is good. Say that with me, please. I look at my life and I know that it is good. Yeah. Difference how we say the word is. I want us to really punch the word is. Say that again, please. I look at my life and know that it is good. Now, that sometimes feels very contrary to what we may be experiencing in our life at the time. We may be feeling grief, or we may be feeling sadness, or we may have, we're short on money, or we have a health issue, whatever that is. At the time, we may not know that what life is good because we're experiencing a temporary condition. We're moving through something. But my talk title today is about how to move through those things and have this idea that even though the outside appearances of my world do not indicate so, that there is a greater good always unfolding. And we can't see it when we're in the middle of it sometimes, but I want to really kind of get to the heart of that today. So, the only thing between you and your good are not things, money, or people. It's your BS and the use of your mind. And BS stands for belief systems, for all of you who had other ideas. But some of our belief systems are BS, aren't they? Some of the patterns we run in our mind are not necessarily the ones that we want to abide by anymore. Maybe they're old, maybe they're dated. And so they are sort of like history. But it's not about things, it's not about people, it's not about money. It's about our belief system and how we look at our lives, how we live and embody our life, how we live through and as our life. So I want us to take a look at that today because there are a lot of belief systems that we have, and gosh, no, there are so many ways that where our belief systems are being challenged right now on every forum, on every format, and no matter unless you live on a rock up somewhere, chances are pretty good that you are hearing about a lot of conflict in the world and a lot of just angst in general. And the angst is an energy, and that frequency and that energy is moving and has its being in as us and moves through us. And so we have to be very careful how we channel that energy, how we receive it, how we allow ourselves to process it, and how we release it. Because it's all going to depend on our belief system. So the only thing that's going to change is the use of up here. This is what's going to have to change, how we use our minds to cope with things. Next thing, it's not about changing God to hear us or answer our prayers. It's our mental reaction to the life we have. Wow. I had a really interesting situation. A really dear friend of mine, his sister passed away. She was in her low 40s, and she had two beautiful children and a husband. And she went through 3 years of a very painful cancer experience, and it was debilitating. And we had this revelation, if you will, when we were discussing how she walked through the process, because as the family dealt with the issue, there was so much sadness, but she didn't feel that. She was coming from a place of constant gratitude for every moment that she had up to the moment she was living, and just grateful to be there while she was there. She wasn't projecting herself into the sadness and grief of what was in front of her, but actually just experiencing the goodness of that moment. The reaction to life, the reaction to the life that she had was one of gratitude and thanksgiving and grace is how she moved through it. Now, I'm not sure how many of us would be in that consciousness. Some of us might be very angry. The family members were very angry. Why is this happening? Why is God doing this to a good person? We'll go through all those questions. But then you have to look at the example that's literally lying before you in the bed and watching her move through with grace and gratitude. I mean, can you say the same about what you're dealing with that is probably less than what she was dealing with in that moment prior to her transition? I mean, we all have this life force moving through us. Am I moving with grace and gratitude, or am I very resistant and angry and bitter? Are you with me? So it's not about God answering our prayers. It's not like God says, oh, you know what? I haven't paid attention to Joe for a couple months. I guess his number's up. I guess I can listen to him now, right? I got a break. I have 5 minutes. Go ahead, Joe, talk. It's not like that. We're not changing God. You don't change God. We change our relationship to God. We don't change spirit. We change our relationship with spirit. We don't change what is that which is infinite and almighty and intelligent. It's already what it is. We change our relationship to it. And the only way to do that is to look at life a little bit differently. Say that with me, please. I look at my life and I know that it is good. To realize that God is ever present, ever available, is to know that that all the wisdom, intelligence, and power of the universe is right where you are. Oh, thank you. Well, not even prompted. I like that. I didn't have to prompt that one. How does that feel? How does that feel? Do you feel empowered by that statement, or do you go, I didn't stand in that line of being empowered and feeling that intelligence and power in the universe? I must have missed my dose of that. Seriously? No. I know I move around too much. They told me not to disco dance in front of you guys anymore, so I'm trying not to move. To realize that God is ever present, ever available, is to know that all the wisdom, intelligence, and power of the universe is right where you are. It's right where I am. Say that. It's right where I am. Stop looking. Stop looking. You're looking for a power outside of yourself. And you were born in the power. It's within you. Stop looking out there to find it. There is no it out there. It's only in here and here. And when we start realizing that and accepting that, then we stop looking for the other things outside of ourselves to make ourselves happy. Now, I am not one to say, become a simplistic or live by that, minimalistic. I'm not a minimalist kind of person. I'm not saying, let's get rid of all our belongings and live up at the top of Idlewild and hope that no one comes to see us. I'm not saying that. I mean, I like air conditioning. I like a comfortable car. I like to have nice clothes. I'm not saying that we have to shift all of that. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to live for it. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm not going to live to make those things happen so that I am happy. Because those aren't things that are going to make me happy. They'll make me happy for just a moment, but the real happiness comes from being that space. Does that make sense? I'm Joe Hooper, and I wear Joe Hooper colored glasses. Say that to yourself. Actually, say that to the person next to you. I'm so-and-so, and I'm wearing my glasses. Yeah, you know what? This is something I want us to come together and understand. That no two people are wearing the same glasses. No two people see life the same way. No two people act the same way, react the same way. Even if you're paired up with someone and you think, I am so synced up, oh my God, he completes me. Even if you have one of those relationships where he finishes my every sentence. She finishes my every sentence. Ah. Was that bitter? I didn't mean to be bitter about that. No, it's good, but that's not what it is. That's not what it is. Because no one can see through your eyes. No one has the things that are happening in your mind. No one, I always say, and I've always drawn this analogy, the greatest fear is not standing in front of people talking or actually standing naked in front of people talking. The biggest fear is that I really know what the internal dialogue is going on in your head. The stuff that you don't tell anybody, because if you exposed yourself in that way, no pun intended, if you exposed yourself in that way, people would think you're crazy. And so that internal dialogue about how you feel about yourself sometimes, we don't share. And that's the internal dialogue, that's your belief system, that's making your glasses, that's making your vision, that's making your perception, that's making your judgments, that's making your action. How does that feel? Yeah. So let's analyze what's going on inside that little head of yours. Yeah. Really? It's exhausting. Anthony DeMello, a Jesuit priest, was recounting a story. This is just a story. The student said, "Why is everyone so happy except me?" And the teacher said, because they have learned to see beauty and goodness everywhere. The student then said, why don't I see the goodness and beauty everywhere? And his response was this, because you cannot see outside of you what you fail to see inside. Yeah, so that means, I probably need a seat with you here. That probably means for me, like you, I have to sit up here because I'm having issues, not physical issues. It means I'm dealing with a mental issue. So when I come up here, I need to deal like I'm dealing with you. So, okay. Perfect, good balance. Okay. No, you keep the lights up, William. That's good. Because I cannot see outside of what I fail to see inside. So if on the outside, I don't see the peace, if on the outside I don't feel the joy, if within me I'm not seeing that in my life, it's not that it doesn't exist out there, it's just it's missing here. If I don't see the balance and gratitude out there, there is no out there. The out there is here. So that means I'm not balanced and grateful. Do you see me? Do you see you and me? So it's not about what's going on the outside, because let's face it, there's a lot of stuff going on outside. And when I see that stuff, and that's all I see, I'm forgetting what I am, whose I am, and that I was made in the image and likeness of that. So it's my blindness. It's not my rose-colored glasses. It's not my Joe-colored glasses. It's my blindness. It's my blinders. Does that make sense to you? Say that with me, please. I look at my life and know that it is good. When we are looking for the imperfections of others, that is what we will find. And remember, when one looks at looking for the imperfections of others, what they're rarely doing, because what's on the outside is on the inside, then I start looking at my own imperfections. And the reason I'm able to see their imperfection is because I am too an imperfectionist. I'm imperfect. I'm a perfectionist trying to be imperfect person trying to be perfect, seeing only the imperfections of others. So what I'm actually looking for, I then see in myself, and then I don't like that. So then I don't like what they're doing because I don't like what I'm doing. So if I look for more imperfections, I will see more imperfections. If I'm looking for reasons to be upset, I will find them. If I'm looking for reasons to be distrustful, I will find them. If I'm looking for reasons to be fearful, I will find them. If that is what I am looking for in others and the experience of others around me, that is what I will find in myself. And so watch what you're looking for, because what you're looking for, you're looking from. Catch that? What you're looking for, you're looking from. So be careful that you're not looking for the things that are wrong. Go back to that story of that woman that I was speaking of earlier. She didn't talk about what was wrong. It was just happening to her. What was right was spending time with her family. What was right was being in love with her husband. What was right was being in that space of gratitude and grace for the moments that she did have. What are you looking to, and how are you looking from it is really important to look at. So you have to choose what you're looking for. It's going to be really easy over the next few months to find fault with just about every part of the American society. Isn't it? It's going to be really easy for everybody to sit there and analyze, and from every side, it's going to be a 360, three-ring circus of fear and judgments. And you have to decide how you're going to look at it. And remember, what you're looking at, you're looking from. So if you're looking at something to make you feel happy, you better come from a place of peace, not a place of chaos, a place of confidence, a place of truth. Are you with me? We cannot be born of the Spirit unless we do the will, and the will of Spirit is goodness, peace, mercy, justice, and truth. It is conscious union with God. We cannot be born and say we're born of the Spirit. In other words, we can't say, I'm a spiritual person, if I'm not really being that spiritual in my approach and expressing goodness and peace and mercy, justice, and truth. I mean, if I'm not from there, and I'm looking out there for it to become part of me, I'm missing where it's coming from. Again, I have to be that first in order for me to experience it. Stop looking for it, Joe. Stop looking for it. Be it first. Yeah? Dr. Holmes wrote, "We are all children of the one living God. Every man and woman who abides in the universe is a significant entity in the one universal consciousness. Our doors will forever be open to all. You are a divine idea in the mind of God." This is important. I want to say this out loud. Our doors are open to everyone, and always have been. I mean, one of the tenets of our teaching is Dr. Tom used to say, we honor all faith traditions. There are many paths up the mountain. We're just one of them. We may not be a 5-lane freeway going up the top. We may be a little smaller group making our way up the top, but everyone is respected for the journey that they're on. And so our doors are always welcome to everyone. Of every race, creed, color, sexual orientation, sexual identity. I don't care who you are. It's really funny. Someone said to me, this is really bugging me. Somebody said to me the other day about they were questioning. They had a question about how I see the congregation, and how I see it demographically, and how I see it, from a racial standpoint, ethnicity, all that. And you know what? I have to tell you, it was a real challenge for me, because I just see people. I'm just seeing people. And actually, a lot of times I see people, but since I know your story, I see people and your story. So I don't see that stuff. And it's not that I want to ignore it. It's what I'm doing is I want to see everybody as love. Everyone is love. And I want to know everybody's welcome here. Everybody's honored here. Everybody has a place at the table here. I want to be involved with a spiritual community that says, I want all of you. Not just some of you who believe the way I believe, or look the way I look, or do what I do, or do what I did. No, not at all. Please, I don't want you to be the biggest mess like I am. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't call that on anybody. I don't want you to be a big mess. What I want you to be is your own mess. And bring your own mess here. And we'll just love you through it. There's a whole row of them right here. The messy row. I love that. What's going in the back of your minds? Okay. Make a movie on that. All right. We're open to everyone. I mean, everybody needs to be welcomed. And so I want to make sure that that's the way you think. Because as a member of our congregation, as a person who, whether you're a member or whether you just come here constantly, I want to make sure that when you walk in here, there's a receptivity and openness for all people to be here. Not just some people, but all people. I want us to be that place. Say that with me, please. I look at my life and know that it is good. Anyone or any idea in me that constricts my experience of the truth, I have the power to turn to freedom for my reaction and legacy. I added the "and legacy." This is a Dr. Holmes quote. Anyone or any idea in me that constricts my experience of the truth, I have the power to turn to freedom for my reaction, and I put in "and legacy." Because, you're remembered for what you post on Facebook. Yeah, lucky you. You're remembered for what you do. It's not just how you react, it becomes your legacy. And your legacy becomes how people view you and how you view yourself. Look at your legacy. So anyone, any idea in me that constricts my experience to experience joy and happiness and peace and balance and order and freedom. Anything that constricts that is actually having an impact on my legacy, on what I'm going to say I did in my life. And do I really want to give all those things that kind of energy? Or am I really ready to look at something a little bit differently? So it's not just my reaction, it's the tail that's going to continue to wag this dog for a long time. So we have unique opportunities every day in conversations, in our what we choose to read and listen to and put into our minds. And think about this. Whatever you're putting into is your legacy. Might change the channel of what you're watching. Might change how you read something. Might change that you decide to skip over something. Let's look at what we're creating, because what we're putting in is going to create our legacy. Next thing, we are anchored by a dynamic urge commanding us to step beyond conventions and fear. We are anchored by a dynamic urge that's calling all of us. I think what's interesting, I'll go up here for a minute. What's interesting is I feel in this time in this world and what's going on in the world, the angst I feel, and I look at the angst that I feel and I think, what can I do with this? How can I fix this? And what I realize is the angst that I'm feeling, the imbalance or the disorder or the chaos or the fear or the concerns that I feel, I have to look at those things. Each one of them is actually urging me to be better and do better in every area. And that means I have to go back to my first slide. Not you, William, but just go back to what the first slide said. I have to not just act, but realize my belief system is creating my angst. And it's either creating it in such a way that I want to pursue it, or it's been brought to my attention because what's happening on the outside is not congruent with what I want to have as my new belief system. Are you there with me? So I have to sit with the angst. I have to sit with it. I've got to just be with it and see that within it is good. You following me? Sitting with it, what will come from that is good. Say that with me, please. I look at my life and know that it is good. So I want you to sit with that. Just sit with that. I look at my life and I know that it is good. I look at my distress and you know what? I know that it is good. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it has to be part of the good unfolding. I look at the conflicts in the world and they're good because they're waking us up to being something bigger, something more. And even though I may think I'm as involved as they come, obviously I still have to do work because it's not done yet. It's one of those things that we all continue to work until it's done. Not wait for people to show up to the party that have already, because some of us are already there, actually continue to work until everyone feels welcome. Everyone feels honored. Everyone feels that they are part and parcel of such a bigger picture that is love made manifest and unfolding. All of it is good, but only if I'm doing something about making it better. Not just relaxing in the, oh, it's all good, I'll go take a nap. No. What am I doing? So that's what I think this is about today. And so ends your lesson. Thank you, everybody.